I think a good singer and a good vocal artist is the same thing, really. There is a lot of art and a lot to learn from singing songs, like song form is a very important thing for a singer, I think, to really get deep into, especially when I improvise. In this band, also with Eldar and Greg, we always have a sense of a song form, and I always feel like a storyteller, basically, when I sing with these bands. Vocal artist, I think probably it's a term that reflects that I have sensitivity about textures and not really staying in traditional singing roles in a band. So I played with a lot of people who definitely did not work with singers in this context, like traditionally, however you imagine it. But again, if you look at the history, everything has been done so far. Like experimental singing, voice has been used in so many contexts already that like traditional is a funny word to refer to. But yeah, I mean, Berlin was a good training for me to first discover the history and also work with people who expect something else from you, as if my speech voice, nothing similar to what I sound like now, for example. In some of my concerts, I'm only about noise. I'm only about aesthetic of noise, not just noise. In some other projects, I really worry about my linear thinking as a vocalist, so you can see me as any other instrument that has a linear development in it. And in free improvisation context, I'm just any other instrument. So I like the word singer because I think it just implies a lot more storytelling in what you do. And I don't want to lose that no matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter the style or the instrumentation. If there's a good story, there's good singing. The text can be very experimental in itself and kind of not really have a quote-unquote point in it. But just thinking as in singing about something or playing about something, I always feel like the musicians I work with also have their own intentions. Also, they bring a story, they play about something, and if we can combine our energy in the same place, then it happens real time. You can't really plan it, I think. I plan for my own compositions a lot. It's been very political for me. Music always has a political statement in it for me. I just naturally feel that that's my mission in a way. But not in every project. So if I have that control in the beginning of the process, as in composition or practicing for a certain setting, I sometimes do have a point to make, yeah, and it's pretty clear. And if that's the case, then I have a text that makes it very clear, or the arrangement of the piece is obviously that. In free impro, that doesn't necessarily happen every time, but it doesn't mean the result has no point in it. The result is still very beautiful, and it's like for lack of terminology, basically, for lack of adjectives. But it's different, definitely. It's not as obvious as in, okay, she meant to do that, but it's like an artwork that you have to spend a bit more time analyzing and then digesting, and then if you are into it, liking. If not, then, well, ta-da. I do believe the scale of emotions a singer can make use of is a very large and, you know, detailed one. And I've been practicing a lot on having emotional control on my audience, but not only in a very obvious standard way. You can make people feel so many things with voice. I think it's just the advantage of the instrument. It's a natural call for another human when you hear a human voice. And I think this kind of beats any other instrument, so we have that power. However, yeah, the scale of things you can make people feel is large enough for me that I admire experimenting with it. So yeah, I do have projects where it's also lovable, or I love singing in any potential way, basically. But yeah, why not use the whole thing if you can, right? So I guess that's my perspective. And sometimes it just comes, like I go through these things myself real time. So if I'm not filtering anything that's coming up from my system, then it's also available to you. And it's up to you how to feel about it, basically.
Önümde bu açık bu kapılar. Tam devam etmek, tam devam etmek, tam devam etmek ister. Bu takılmışlık, bu takılmışlık devam etmek isterken bu dumanlar içinde kalmak, tüm bu çabam kaybolmadan bu karanlıktan çıkmak.
Eldar and I worked in multiple projects, very different ones. The last one is my project, which is also in the making now called Televangelista Extravaganza, which is a really theatrical piece. And Eldar was I cannot do it without Eldar. Eldar is a power source. It's incredible what he brings on stage. And we also played Balkan and Turkish music together before. He's just the type of musician you can trust with anything, really. So I never doubt calling Eldar for anything important for me, because he will be there, prepared, very present, and completely, giving everything he can give. Greg had been my mentor and bandmate for a very long time now, basically. Since I came to Berlin, he has been a part of my music life. And yeah, we have a trio with Tobias Delius. And yeah, we basically are recording in December. So a lot of things will come up with that project also. At this point, I cannot describe my musical life without Greg Cohen. It's just, yeah, he's integrated way too much now anyway. Like, I hear me quoting Greg Cohen when I sing, in a way. And yeah, the same idea with storytelling. They are also both very strong in this. So I just trust them 100%. Like, something great will happen if I have these people in the band. So yeah, looking very much forward.